Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Dimensions. I'm Marianne. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by today. I greatly appreciate that. If you like and resonate with what I'm going to share with you or the readings, please do like, subscribe, and share, or push that notification bell so you know when I'm going to be uploading. It's so incredibly kind. It's all free and it's very, very supportive, and I thank you in advance. Thank you for the ones that already have, especially, and for the new people, welcome. And I am a long-time psychic intuitive tarot reader. I'm actually an incredible enthusiast with astrology too, and it does come into my readings somewhat. I don't overdo it, but I like to bring in the most essential, most important aspects happening in the sky for all of us, but also for individuals. And then also, what can I tell you? I have a little bit of a ritual that I've been doing. I start with a chakra check that correlates with the crystal that's appropriate for that particular chakra area. And then I go on with the reading. I'm doing every single sign for the month of December, and I'll do every single month. I want to incorporate more readings. And right now, I'll finish with an angel card today, but I have oracles that I bring in, and personal readings are available in person at my studio and have been for many years. The link below is Pure Massage Therapies. You can set up an appointment. It has an actual button you push for tarot readings, and I would love to see you. I'm in the East Bay of Castro Valley, San Francisco East Bay area. That would be wonderful. And it's pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy. It's worked very well so far. For personal readings that have to do with me sending a video, I will be using this wonderful time during this official Mercury retrograde to do my best to tie up the loose ends, to make that readily available. Retrogrades do affect your speech and your ability to communicate. So I'll slow it down a bit. I would love to have that for the new year for everybody. And I'll tell you more about that. And there should be more links involving that as well. But I am now going to be reading for the beautiful earth sign of Capricorn. And wow, I am doing this the day after Thanksgiving. So if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, I certainly hope it was beautiful. I had a wonderful time. I get a little melancholy. That's just my personality, what I've been experiencing for a long time. It's getting a little better, but when things are great, it makes me sad too, because I want it to last forever. I'm sure you can relate to that. But I got over it quickly. I had clients to work with, and that always snaps me out of it. But it was really just a beautiful, simple opportunity for me to be around the people that I could be around. And, I came from a very large family, and a lot of them have dispersed, and that's not happening. But my nuclear family, my kids and their girlfriends and their dad, we like to just celebrate and appreciate and feel grateful for our many countless blessings. And so that happened, and I hope it was great for you, Capricorn. Now, you're an earth sign, and you are a cardinal sign, so we are in the season of Sagittarius, which started on the 21st, and then we're going to enter into your season, solar return, birthday month, which starts on the 21st, and you also usher in the new season. Now, as a cardinal sign, there are 4 cardinal signs. They each have that responsibility of starting a new season. So there's always this dynamic with all the cardinal signs where there's things that need to be done. They like to be busy. They like to be active in some form or another, even if it's not physically, it's mentally, and it's being in charge, kind of instigating things. That's a big responsibility, one that you cannot turn away from. That's not going to stop, as far as I know. Seasons will continue for our lives. The moon does come up. The sun does come up. These things have been pretty accurate for many thousands and millions of years. Millions? Maybe that's a stretch. But you know where I'm going with that. So you have that responsibility, but in the meantime, even during this retrograde of Mercury and the retrograde of Mars that's going to take place on the 6th of December, so right around the corner, where you will notice a decline in your energy, no doubt. You're still feeling amazing because we have the beautiful Venetian planet of Venus, which is all about love and relationships and beauty and money and kind of just this magic kind of feeling that happens. Like people find you more attractive. And, you know, they'll say stuff to you, you'll be getting flirted with maybe a little more. You kind of look like, what's good? What's different? But it's coming from within and with the help of the beautiful energy of Venus. So that's been in your sign for a while. And I think it's going to be there through, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I can't say exactly the date right now, but certainly midway through the month, maybe even a little bit longer. I'm trying to remember when then it goes into Aquarius, which isn't bad for you either. It's not a bad thing. It's right next to you, you know, but there can be some amazing things happening. I feel like you're feeling a little frisky in a way. I feel like you're feeling calm, which is something that I find many Capricorns capable of being. You're like the calm in the storm as an earth sign. You're very grounded. You're very, very reliable. You actually are ruled by Saturn. And that is what is known as the more serious taskmaster planet. You know, I mean, Saturn is there to create structure, to create restriction of types, you know, just like having a kind of straight and narrow way of doing things because time is of the essence and it is about time and father time, and that's man-made. But you get the idea. As a human being, we have to be aware of time on many aspects, right? I mean, it's everywhere, it seems, you know. It's nice to turn that away sometimes. And there's that inner clock too. That's very important. But so, yeah, that's something that you've just naturally as an archetype have had in your life. And you being the sign that represents winter, well, those are barren times, you know, the leaves are gone. It's colder out. It's darker out. I mean, you are able to succeed in ways that most people don't under the worst conditions. So anything after your season is it's gravy, right? You're like, well, you also represent the goat, and that's representing your sure-footedness, your ability to be very grounded in many circumstances. Like people turn to you often for that sensible kind of, you know, you don't lose your head in circumstances or, you know, when there's major, let's say, emergencies or accidents. They know to turn to you because you're going to be there. You're going to be very loyal. You're going to be very clear-headed, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it. Also, I've never known a Capricorn, I'm not exaggerating, that has not been successful, because that really is your claim to fame, and that is really mostly on your agenda. Like, how can I get to the next level and better? You love the comforts. You love the work. You're never turned off by hard work. You are a workaholic a lot of times. I will say that. It could lean towards that. I hope that's not the case, and you're able to balance that out more as time goes on. It's important for all of us, but it's just something to put out there. But, you know, you actually enjoy working. You generally own businesses, your management, you're higher level, you know, people are looking up to you. And you are very comfortable with that. So I will put that out there as well. But let us talk a little bit more about just a couple of really important astrology aspects coming in. And that is that the very 1st of December, which is only, 2 days from today, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is Jupiter ruled. Sagittarius is a fire sign. You know, this is the energy of optimism and fun and adventure and travel and freedom and truth and looking beyond, you know, the normal as a mutable sign. You're the cardinal, a mutable sign that Sagittarius is. They're open to so many different ways of perspective and seeing things, traveling, like I said, and trying new things. They're not put off by anything. They have this great spirit of fun and adventure. So it's really pretty exciting. I've loved being around Sagittarius most of my life. And every sign has something beautiful to offer. So that's been in the air anyway. So I think it works well with you as well, along with the Venus. And then we have this beautiful full moon happening around the 15th, the same day that Mercury actually stations direct. Plenty of time before Christmas, and it'll start to get the momentum back to its normalcy, right, through the shadowy part on that end. And there's a shadow before and a shadow after. So really good vibes, fun times. Most of the time people, their businesses will shut down. It's really a time of, you could be at home doing nothing and be okay with it, but I think you want to surround yourself with more people. That Venus can be very attractive, and you kind of are drawing people to you, as I mentioned. So I like that a lot for you as well. And then at the very end of the month, we actually have on the 30th, another new moon. I have made a mistake and said it was in Aquarius. Please forgive me. That's that Mercury retrograde. I'm going to blame it on it as long as we're in it. I can't say it otherwise, but truly it's going to be in your sign. So there's a lot happening for you, Capricorn. Not to mention that Pluto, the planet of incredible transformation and power, and that had been in your sign for many, many years, but most predominantly in the last, 14, 15, since 2008, has changed into the sign of Aquarius for the next 20 years and onward. So you're going to definitely feel that in your bones. That's a whole different flavor. That is a whole different energy. Aquarius is an air sign. They're definitely thinkers. They're ruled by Uranus, so there's unpredictability as to, what direction they'll go next and what they'll pursue, but they want to help the world. They're like, let's make this planet a better place. Not just you and me, but like as a collective, right? And just technology is very much a part of the picture. Ways to improve and heal things, with Pluto in the picture, that's about disease. And yeah, well, while Pluto was in Capricorn was when, of course, the pandemic came around, and about anything having to do with earthly things you can touch, feel, smell, all the senses, your sustenance, your home, your family, all those come into the picture. So that happened during the time, that Pluto was in Capricorn, because it was earthbound, right? And the world was experiencing it. So just as a side example. But yeah, a lot of new things, a lot of transformation for so many people. And I would say for the betterment always. So we're going to do your reading, I promise. I'm going to start with your chakra check. And basically this is Spirit wanting you to focus on one specific chakra for the day. We have 8 in total. They're energy centers that are imperative and essential for us to be grounded and feeling holistic, body, mind, and soul, energy-wise, heart-wise, our natural gifts of intuition and clairvoyance and all the essences and all the claras, I should say. All the magical things of life, and then our crown chakra, that receiving information from the other side and from our spirit guides and our ancestors and everything. It's all really happening. We're all definitely made of energy, and they get affected. So I'm going to pull the card that is meant to be for you, for your reading today in December. Oh, and you have the beautiful, beautiful solar plexus, the bright yellow, the most strength and power. It's a Pluto feel to it for sure. Anything having to do with power. And a lot of times, if you're not feeling that way, or you're feeling less confident, or you're feeling like something's awry, it could be that you have a little bit of blockage in that area. The solar plexus is right above the belly button, just below the diaphragm here, right about here. It encourages us, and that gives us our power. That's near the gut. That's when we have that gut feeling. We just know things, right? Standing up for how we feel, feeling that self-respect, feeling the self acceptance, really, in a nutshell. So let me read to you what it says more specifically. And it does say for the 3rd chakra, which is the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and then the solar plexus, coming upwards to the sky. My body and personality are in harmony. I am strong, confident, and centered. I know who I am and the purpose for which I am here. And you say that enough, and this is what I would consider to be like a mantra. That powerful feeling in your solar plexus will only continue to grow, and you'll feel even more confident than I'm probably sure a lot of you already do, but we all have times when we might not. So this is just a reminder. Believe, reach within. A lot of everything that we deal with comes from within. Even though it seems like it's happening on the outside, it's a reflection of what's happening within us. So I love that a lot for you. Now, in correlation with that, I'm going to be wearing the necklace, which I drop every day, it seems. It's right down here. And it has a beautiful crystal that I get to put inside. This beautiful gift that I got for every chakra. So for the third chakra, what it is the tiger eye, which is so full of incredible opportunity, luck, protection. Let me pull it out for you first and then read what the little card says in regard to the crystal itself. But yes, there's so many different forms and so many different types of crystals. I'm never without them. Speaking of which, it's here, right here. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, let me get a better perspective when I put these away. Any new moons or full moons can be extremely powerful when you want to recharge your crystals. For those that are very aware of crystals and have used them most of their life like I have. As a massage therapist for my full-time job of many years, I'm not without them because it's so important to ground myself and to protect myself from the energies, right, that come and the stresses that may come from my clients. But this beautiful tiger's eye is just, it's one of many examples, but I'm going to set that in here and it's going to help infuse your reading. And then I'll read just a little bit about what it says as soon as I get this in here for you. And we'll be on with the reading. I love this. I don't think I've gotten this for the December readings. I may have had one other, but I don't remember. There was a repeat for the crown chakra, like crazy. That was the first 3 and then at least 2 since. So I'm pretty good on. Got a little bit cool, so I was just wearing my jacket for now, but it's nice and cozy. And yeah, beautiful day otherwise though. Just absolutely beautiful in the Northern Hemisphere here. So I'm going to read to you what it says for the third solar plexus. Here we go. Third chakra, the solar plexus. It says confidence, power, and purpose. And it says, Tiger Eye Stone, I radiate happiness and positive energy. And that coincides with the self-confidence, the self-acceptance, happiness, the joy, power, right? Very much power. So I love that for you. And let's see if the reading also brings forth a lot of the cards that represent this third chakra. You can always tell because the color will be predominantly yellow. So that's been coming up a lot for the readings of December. I want to put that out there first and foremost. So going on with the reading, I'm going to be doing the Celtic Cross, which I love very much. And I change my decks every month, sometimes in between, maybe from the first half of the different signs to the last. It just depends, you know. Spirit kind of guides me in anything I do when it comes to the readings. And I have blessed the cards and asked for clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved and all the Capricorns existing in this world. And we thank you for your help and your energy. And just one more shuffle I'm asked to do. And then I will lay out the actual positions and explain them as I go along for those that have not been familiar with this particular layout. The deck I'm using is the Rider-Waite-Smith, and this was the very first deck that I ever got. And it was when I was 32, which was 35 years ago, so over a lifetime ago. And it's been so incredibly powerful and fulfilling and so deeply helpful in my life with guidance and messages that I would love to, pass on to you as they come. and hope that you resonate. Sometimes people don't resonate right away. You can always, because we're going to be seeing it. Hopefully everything will go well with the uploads. I'm allowing enough time. Cross your fingers. Sometimes that technical end of Mercury retrograde, it's real, but you just do what you can and you work with it, because we all get through them. They've been around all of our lives, 3 times a year, without fail, and they last upwards about 6 months, including the shadow. But we'll all make it work, right? And there's some beautiful nuggets that happen during Mercury retrogrades as well. It's not all doom and gloom. So the first card, though, is the overall energy for you, Capricorns. And it is going to be just that. It really pretty much explains what is happening right now and how what you're exuding, and what your biggest energy aspect is for the reading. So you have the 2 of Pentacles. Well, there is your element right off the bat. Now, the element of Pentacles or coins is the earth element. So it's yourself as a Capricorn or a Virgo. See, this is what happens during a retrograde. Or Taurus, forgive me. By the way, we had an amazing full moon in Taurus on the 15th, which is still possibly affecting you because of being your fellow earth sign. It's about definitely earthly matters, certainly money. All of the senses are affected. It could be just the most incredibly romantic. It can be incredibly fun. It can give you a chance to really sit and be in nature and really appreciate the time you're able to do that. Perhaps you're vacationing. The 2 represents partnerships a lot of times. It represents balancing and the ability to, to keep things on an even keel, if you will. You can see there's like the seesaw effect almost, right, with the coins. So maybe there's been, in the background, you can see a little bit of the turbulence of the waves. You've got the ship going up. So like everything in life, you've got your upside and you've got your downside. Sometimes money's coming in great. Sometimes there's a slowdown. When we're wise, we plan for this because it's very cyclical and it happens throughout our lives. So we know when things are a little bit more barren, if you will, or a little bit sparse. We just refrain from maybe spending as much, right? That's the ideal thing. Having said that, we are in a holiday season. So, I know that you and anybody I speak to on this channel has the capacity to understand this and utilize this as a message of help. You have free will. You do whatever you think is right. It's letting you know overall, just to make sure that you're not overdoing it in any aspect. Doesn't even have to be money. Don't overwork. Don't overeat. Hard to say after Thanksgiving, I know. Don't over-imbibe. Just make sure that you're keeping that beautiful balance to keep yourself in your most healthy form. And that's inside and out, body, mind, and soul. Always holistic, not just one area ever. Like the chakras, they're throughout our whole body. So yeah, just giving you a little heads up on that. You're doing well, apparently, so far so good, but just expect the unexpected sometimes that way. Don't go overboard, but we may have other things that will, of course, include with this story, of course. So we have then the card that crosses, and this is going to be your blessings or blocks. And you have the Fool. So it's a major arcana. I absolutely love it. We're ending the year, right? And we're starting the new year right around the corner. So there's this feeling of, first of all, I'm ready and I'm excited. And there's that yellow. There's that confidence. There's that happiness. There's the trust and the faith in the co-creation always happening with us. You are freewheeling it, as it will, if you will. If you ever heard that expression, I'm just going to wheel it. You've got a little dog nipping out there. There's some people that are loyal to you. They're watching over you as well. They want to be in your company. They want to support you in everything you do. And you're going for it. This is the beginning of the journey of the tarot itself. It starts with the Fool, and then the Magician is the one, and then it goes all around in our life. We do this many times in a lifetime, but you are absolutely trusting. You're packing light, trusting in the power of the universe to guide you as it will, and asking for that. So I love this a lot. It has a beautiful energy. That would be a blessing, okay? The only block would be is if you weren't too trusting and you were holding back from really wanting to explore or maybe travel or do things you haven't done because you're working too much, or you're used to being at home and it's not something you're used to do. Maybe you'll be alone and do it, but you can meet so many people. It's going to expand your life. It's going to bring on more confidence if for any reason you're not feeling that. Absolutely. So I really like that a lot. And if you're balancing your money and everything, you certainly have money, and money always comes in anyway. There's an unlimited supply. Okay, and that's something to always remember. There's that scarcity mindset or the abundant mindset. Which one do you want to choose? Because that's what will come in for you. But then we have your foundation position, and that's so, so important. That is the earth part of you where you know, in order to be stable, you've got to put forth the effort, you've got to put forth the energy, the patience. Anything you do, Capricorn as an earth sign, is about the future, and you're willing to put in that time to reap the rewards far into the future after having done it. But you knew that because you planned ahead, and nothing was going to stop your tenacity and your ability to just, keep it going. You don't give up. You are definitely capable of reaching heights and things that a lot of people give up on too soon. So that is the next card, and that's the Four of Swords. Well, there's the energy of the beautiful air element. And you can see the three swords on the wall. And basically, in a nutshell, I'll just explain to you, this means it's time to take a break. Mercury retrogrades are perfect for that. Going over things you already are interested in, things that you might want to start as soon as the Mercury retrograde goes forward. Definitely with the influence of the new moon, and certainly in the new year. But you're not in a rush. There's no need to be. Take the time to contemplate, to rest, to build up your energy. If you weren't feeling well, this is about absolutely getting healthier, restoring your well-being. And I love it. Now, in this stained glass window, it's representing that you are always being watched over. If you have specific prayers or wishes or dreams that you're thinking of, please put them out to the universe and let them know. Write them down on this new moon. Set those intentions. It's the most powerful, and it can last for 2 weeks and onward. And then we've got a whole new eclipse season starting, of course, as early as January 2025. We're finishing up the North Node Aries eclipse, South Node Libra. The last one in Aries will be in March, which is appropriate because that's their birth, and it's a full moon. It's going to be a doozy, but it's great. And Aries is about power and strength and conviction. They also being a cardinal sign, and they usher in the spring. So between now and then, and your willingness to be open and experience things while resting, not overdoing it, keeping that balance, things are looking beautiful. There's yellow there too, if you noticed. So you've got that belief. You can make anything happen you choose to. And then we go on to your recent past position. And you have the King of Pentacles. There you are. And there's the yellow. You are so confident. The King is the most mature in the court cards that are in the tarot deck. And I'll tell you, it's about abundance. It's about, look at the lush, beautiful growth. There's grapes. That represents, it's hard to grow, but you've done it. The fruit are there for the picking. The hard work has been done, and now it's about reaping, like I said, the benefits. You've got the castle in the background. You've got the pentacle in your hand. You are feeling good, feeling on all levels of earthly matters, once again, the senses, satisfied, oversatisfied. And you tend to be very generous too. You want to be somebody that helps others. If it's not with wealth or money, it's with advice or, structure and the things that, a lot of people can use that assistance with. You're more than happy to teach if people want to listen. So that's your recent past. That's you realizing how far you've come and ready to start yet a new chapter, which is absolutely wonderful. And like I said, I had a feeling we'd be seeing yellow, but we certainly are. Then we have your possible future. And you've got the Queen of Wands. Well, that's the energy we're in with the Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands is the more feminine energy, but it doesn't mean female. It just means we have both the feminine and masculine in all of us. Utilizing that and also keeping that balanced is really important. It's easier said than done sometimes. But the Queen of Wands is about when she has her sight set on something, that fire energy is real and she's going to create and make it come true. You've got the cat there representing the magical part of things and how life can be so magical when we believe enough to manifest. And she's wearing the yellow robe of confidence and assuredness and the fiery desires, right? They're real. She wants to help others in the process too. So she's there for anybody and more than happy to share her knowledge. And that's the season we're in, is the fiery season of Sagittarius. Now, also the other retrograde I started to mention, probably just digressed as I usually do, is the Mars retrograde, which is in Leo, another fire sign. One of the strongest as well in the zodiac. I mean, ruled by the sun, the biggest star in the galaxy. The heat, the brilliance, the brightness, the energy, the wanting to be seen and to shine and to be the star, right? That's all of this combined in one. That is that solar plexus, if there ever was one. I'm so happy that Spirit made it very clear as to why that particular chakra showed up for you. So moving along, because it's only getting better, we have your immediate future. This is the possible future. But really, you're having it right now. You're living it right now because we are in Sagittarius season. You're just picking up on it and feeling those energies, and it's igniting your energy. We have in your immediate future the Five of Wands, once again, the fire energy. Now, this is about change. This is about, now, I wanted to say conflict. Conflict makes sense, okay? Conflict does not have to be a terrible thing. They are fighting with wands, not guns, not swords. They are trying to work things out the best they can because it's a competition card. Sometimes people think their idea is better and so forth. It goes back and forth. And before you know it, there's a solution and everyone had something to add and something was, useful in everything that had been discussed. It's about how you take it, if you're going to be, reserved, if you're going to allow other suggestions, I guess, other viewpoints, other ways, perspectives of seeing things. That's the key thing for this. So maybe you are one that goes and plays bingo or games of chance. That's another form of competition, right? Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. But you got to play the game, right? I wouldn't suggest that you spend a lot of money on that, but it might be a really good time with Venus in your sign to consider that. Maybe play one or two, lottery tickets. People win it, but you got to play it, right? So that's coming into play. I don't see it as anything really disturbing in any way other than the fact that life is a competition. Some of it's actually fun. It instigates, it gives us that desire to do better. It's that impetus. And that's very clear. Also, when Mars retrogrades, it's more introspective. So maybe there's some conversations you have to have and have been kind of put by the wayside. You kind of were putting it off, if I should say, about things you weren't 100% on the same page with somebody. Perfect time to do so. Clear the air at the end of the year. Start fresh, It doesn't have to be ugly. It can only be, I would say it would be the best thing, to clear the air, if you will. So that's the possible future. Let me know if any of this actually resonates. And remember, I always do ask that everybody watch their sun position, their moon, their rising or ascendant, the time you were born. Definitely your Venus and Mercury, with Mercury especially retrograde. If there's differences that you're not feeling comfortable about with communication, it could have to do with that, but it also could have a lot to do with where your position of Mercury is. You know, we're so many things and so many layers. So that's why I've always, once I realized I was more than Libra and more than the sun, I've just really delved into it, because sometimes my moon reading is far more accurate than the sun. And then sometimes, you know, it's not resonating at all. So that's, as a general reading, that definitely does happen, but hopefully it will in some respect. We move on to the stem, and that's going to be the first card, which represents your perspective in general. This was your energy, the first card, but this is your perspective as a whole right now and what you're feeling. You know, your peripheral vision, I call it, where you're seeing things and kind of getting a certain feel or thought process about it. And let's see what the card says to help explain that a little better. Well, it's a 7 of Wands, so you're very much feeling the energy of fire because it's everywhere. And it's very powerful right now, but it's giving you energy enough to, you know, regardless of the retrograde of Mars, that'll take that back a bit, or the delays of Mercury retrograde, none of that's affecting you enough because you're standing your ground. This is the defending card. You have an idea, you're going to stand true to it. Nothing's going to stop you from that. I know that about you anyway. We've already made that clear, that when you have an objective or something, you're going to see to it until it's happening, you know, until it succeeds. You don't give up. So that's a beautiful trait in a lot of ways. Your tenacity, if you will. So yeah, you see the wands are below you. You're basically on the top looking down because you know you're where you need to be, and people are just going to have to understand it. If there's any controversy or, you know, not full understanding of your way of doing things, do what you have to do and be strong and confident about that. The blue represents more of the intuitive knowing, like when to start, when to stop, how much to spend, how much to, you know, those are the things you kind of go within yourself and you say, wait a minute, that doesn't feel quite right. It's not the yellow, it's the third eye of the crown, the things that you get information, you may get downloads. It's very possible in your dreams that'll direct you as well. It happens often. So there's that. And then the next card is going to be your environment. Oh my gosh, I love this. You have the Empress. There's the yellow again. But not only that, the Empress is the most incredible, creative, loving, giving energy that you could be. We all have that residing in us, and it's showing its colors. And this is the beauty of it. This is the emblem that represents Venus. Okay, and that is what Venus is in your sign, as I mentioned. And it's happening, like I said, till the end of, like, it's 17th or something. I said, don't quote me on that, but it usually visits each sign unless there's an exception, which there is every couple of years when it retrogrades, but it's not till next year. It's beautiful. You are going to attract so many things, and you are going to create and feel this incredible surge of incredible confidence. Like I said, creativity is coming through, the juices. That's actually your your sacral chakra. There's your root chakra and your sacral chakra. That's what creates like none other. And it's the birth of something beautiful, something new. It could be the birth of a child, though. You know, this represents a woman in this picture, but it doesn't have to be. It's the feminine energy, the most feminine, Venus. Okay? Love that came in your environment, because it's happening right now. And it's just very, very synchronistic, this reading, which I'm very happy about for you, Capricorn. Then we have the hopes and fears category. There we go again. The Magician. major arcana cards that are just saying, believe and you will achieve, and never let go of your ability to understand your strength. And that's what I love and want to do so much for everybody, is to just encourage you to know just how powerful, how gifted each and every one of us are. We have powers that are beyond explanation. And this is what it's showing. The magician has all the tools needed, all the elements, the cups for water, the wand for fire, the coins for earth. And what have I left out? And the swords for air, thoughts, ideas, just everything. It's infinite. There's unlimited possibilities. And this is in your hopes and fears. So I hope that you're realizing you've got this. You absolutely do. So yet another yellow. And I mean, there's a fair amount of yellow, but you've really picked more than I think any reading. I've had other readings, yes, with yellow, but not to this extent. Super happy for you. The last is the outcome card. So you have, oh, okay, well, it's yellow. And don't be misled by this. This is the Seven of Swords. This is the air elements, as I mentioned. You have the one here. I was looking around to see you've got a good collection of, I would say, balance of major arcana, wands. You've got coins. And this is definitely air. This is about being very aware of your surroundings. This is what they will call the trickster card, in the sense that somebody is stealing in broad daylight 5 of these swords, 5 ideas, 5 invention, whatever it is, maybe someone else's idea, and getting caught, right? Red-handed. Like, you see this. It could be yourself, though. Are you thinking that you're pulling something off and that somebody isn't aware of it? Please don't, because it will be recognized. It will be known. Or if nothing else, do your very best not to fool yourself into believing in something that you probably know very well internally is not really the case, but you just don't want to believe that maybe something could happen like it is. And I certainly can understand that. It happens a lot to us in our lives. You've got the 2 standing swords in the background. So that's already that's already happened. Whatever's happened has already happened. It's part of your past. And I would say it's the best thing you can do is to move away from that. Move away from the energy that isn't feeling right. If it feels like somebody's not being completely honest with you in their conversations, you'll know it. You'll feel the gut feeling. Have that strength to say, nope, I'm not buying it. Double check any kind of a contract or anything of that nature. Fine print. You don't necessarily want to sign anything during the retrograde. Sometimes we have to, though. Life goes on. But just letting you double check to make sure that you're not the wool isn't going to be pulled over your eyes, because this is a very clear indication that someone might be trying to fool you, okay? But it's not going to happen. I really feel very strongly about that. That's your outcome. This is a happy, beautiful card. The yellows represent positivity. So remember that. It's just a guidance. It's always about guidance. And I actually want to do a clarification card on that as well for the outcome. And you have the Hierophant. Fantastic. The teacher, the higher knowing, our connection to source. It actually represents Taurus, and that's your fellow earth sign. But it also represents marriage. So, I mean, if you were thinking for yourself, well, we can always put off that engagement. It'll be okay. She'll wait. He'll wait. Don't be too sure about that. And don't be afraid. Please bring back that confidence of love and assuredness. You wouldn't have thought about it if you hadn't really wanted to at some point. But don't ever feel rushed either. I'm not trying to say that. This is gorgeous. This is a great confirmation that you are going to be shown the way. This is a religious rite too, but like I said, it could be marriage. And maybe you're just going to finally stop kidding yourself into thinking, we're fine as we are. No, you want marriage and children or whatever, then this represents a child too, like childlike whimsy, the fool. the openness to, you know, why not? So I love that. I'm glad that we did that because that was necessary, and it kind of gave a little bit more insight as to what that could be for a general reading. Now, the last thing I'm going to do for you is read the angel message because it is the culmination of the reading. Once again, thank you for stopping by. It is my deepest honor and appreciation to be able to be here and do readings for everyone. And I'll continue to do so. Do check and see, you know, if you want to push, like I said, the notification bell. I'm going to have some be the same time every week, but that's all being established, and I would promise to let you know. But in finishing, we will finish with this beautiful deck, which is the Doreen Virtue. And Doreen had been known as one of the leading angel guidance, you know, spirit teachers that was around, and then she decided not to do it anymore. But she sold so many decks. I've had this one for well over a decade, and I love it. And I use it upstairs in my room every day. I do an angel check because we all have angels, and we definitely are being guided and watched over. Our guardian angels are always there, sometimes more than one, sometimes just one. But your inner guide is also super important with this. So for you, beautiful Capricorns, for the month of December 2024, last month of the year, your last message is, I can't believe it, but I love it. I love spirituality. Power. Power, 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 power. You got it. You got it in spades, okay? And it only gets better during your birthday season. So happy birthday to you early, okay? And have an amazing time, whatever holiday you may celebrate. Come on back and see me in January. I'll be here for you, okay? Till then, thank you so much. Bye-bye.